Alright, we have here the Killer Bee. Let's take a look at what we got. This is the first one of these I installed. So I think it's pretty simple. Comes with several parts. This first part, this is the electronics and the buzzer, which installs you can put this inside your receiver box. So we're going to set that aside for now. And then there's an add-on part. You have to buy this separate. If you want the LED indication, you must buy this, what do they call it here? The KRC-KS-SBRL-G. G means green. I went for the green LED. Green means go or safe to operate. You must order that separate. You don't get that standard in the Killer Bee. You just get the electronics and the buzzer. I think that's a buzzer. So if you want indication, I think they offer red, blue, and green. You can go ahead. You will have to drill a hole somewhere in your receiver box to mount this LED, but they give you a mount and everything for it, so it should be simple. What do we got here? We got Killer Bee sticker set. Pretty nice. What else we got here? You got your Killer Bee promotional card, comes in there. And you get an installation paper. Goes over the entire installation and the dip switch setup. Just talks about the different setups for it. I'll have to read over that and go over it. Low cutoff, if you're, depends what kind of battery you're using. Has your status LEDs. Off means LED off, engine killed. Solid green, engine can run. Solid red, engine killed via the auxiliary output. Flashing red, engine killed radio glitch. Flashing green is a safety override, engine can run. Flashing green red, green, 5-second kill period. Flashing green amber, low voltage, engine killed. And flashing red amber means high engine temperature, engine killed. You have to have the optional temperature sensor if you want that. So, okey-dokey, we'll have to set up our radio and set up the electronics once that's all installed, but for now we got to get the switch on. So here's our old switch. Get this camera in here correctly. Get this back a little bit so we can see this. This is the old switch here. Here's the new switch. Same as the old. So just unplug these wires and plug these in. Go ahead and get my handy dandy pliers here so we can get these off. This one here is quite easy to reach. Quite tight, and that's what you want. Actually pulled the wire right out of the plug there, so out of the crimp. This red one is a little harder. I don't know if you can see it. Just gonna stick my screwdriver in there and kind of see if I can. There we go. Little bugger to get out of there. We'll go ahead and get our new switch on. First thing I'm going to do is get this red one on. this is kind of tough to get on. Might be easier if you actually take the coil off. Looks like I'm gonna have to take that coil off, so probably should have done that in the first place. What do we got here? 3, what do we got? What do we got? Looks like we got 3 millimeters. Really tight. These are definitely Loctited down. Got our coil out, so we can go ahead and put our switch on. A lot easier to get to. There's 1. There's 2. Probably going to route this down through, so let's go ahead and get our coil back installed on here. Have to worry about setting the gap later. Now let's just get it back on. Alright, trying to figure out how I'm going to route this. I'm thinking either like that. Let's cover. Here's your cover. Cover will go on. This go up in here. Like so, and this cover down here. I think that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to route it in there like so. Don't think that will get hot. Alright guys, had a heck of a time with this Killer Bee switch. These things weren't tight. I had to squeeze them tight. I had to re-put on a second piece of, this thing was a pain. I don't know what else to say. I think I got her now. If I have trouble with this, I'll end up pulling these wires off and actually soldering them on. I think that's why they started switching. Where's that? I think that's why they started switching to this type on these engines, soldering these. I'm having trouble with these popping off. You know, they didn't put any kind of heat shroud on these of any kind, but it should be alright. We'll see if it holds up. Wish they would have put like a heat shroud on here. See how this has a heat shroud? Right here, this piece. So I could have put that over the wires, but I guess that'll be alright. It'll be in here like this. And I have my cable run down like that. So it's just really close to the, but alright, that's our Killer Bee installed. Like I said, this is pain, but there it is. Just had to redo a couple things. So this is in, this will kind of push up against this, so it kind of holds it from popping off. So we'll see. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set this coil gap using business card. I know it's not the best. I don't have the gap tool, but you know, that's what we got, so that's what we're going with. Make sure, see this part here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Make sure this part's under the coil. This is the magnetic part which makes the coil fire. Alright, got my business card set. I'm just going to go ahead and push down on this coil. Get this snug. Okay, that completes the killer bee and the coil adjustment. We're going to go ahead and get the covers back on and put our Turtle Racing pull start on. Okay people, we got our Turtle Racing billet pull start cover. We're going to go ahead and put on this OBR 32. Comes with your billet handle. It comes with this dog cage that you got to put together with these two stops, springs, a clip, and a screw. And these looks like some spacers in a washer. I'm not sure exactly where they go yet, but people, be careful. Even though this Turtle Racing's top notch, I don't know if you can see this. Little tiny shavings in there. See them? Just be aware of that. I'm gonna clean these out, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of 3-in-1 on these stop pieces before I put them in too. So alright, the first thing we have to do is take this flywheel nut out. It's 12mm. Alright. Okay, that gets replaced by this piece, which is not 12mm. It's 13. So we're going to put that on in its place. Okay, people, ran into a problem here. My Bartolone tool works great here as like a piston stop, but here's the problem. When you put this Turtle Racing dog piece on, you can no longer get the Bartolone Racing tool on. I don't have a piston stop tool, so I've decided to do the rope trick, putting a piece of rope down in there. We'll see if that works. Okay, the normal flywheel nut is 80 inch-pounds, so we're going to set this Turtle Racing for 80 as well. That's it right there. Okay, we got our piece in here which replaced the flywheel nut from Turtle Racing. Now we're going to have to put this on. You want to put this on so you see how this is. There's like a gap here, gap here. You don't want that. You want to make this so it's tight up against that flywheel, like so. And then this bolt will go through here to hold it on. So we'll put some Loctite on that. This 3mm, like I said, the flywheel is normally 80 inch-pounds, so I'm not sure. I can't find anything if it should be 80 or not, but we're going to be very careful tightening it. I mean, that's we're going to take it down to 50. I don't know where to set this, but this is, let's see, 50. That's 50. I don't want to get that over tight because it's such a small bolt. That's 60. Let's try 70. That's 70. This will be 80. All right, I think 80's good. $80. Now we can go ahead and put our Turtle Racing handle on, which you can unbolt this from this assembly. You can unbolt like this flange piece from the rounded piece here. That way you can orient this pull handle any way you want. Well, as you can see, I removed my flange piece and I have this piece separate, so I wanted to put some Loctite on these anyway, but my piece from Turtle Racing is kind of grungy. I got this from DDM. It just has a couple of scratches on it, and it's just dungy. So I'm gonna polish it up with big shout out to Eastside RC for sharing the mother's billet with us, for shining up your aluminum billet parts. So I'm going to take some of this, get my pool starter nice and polished up. Then I'm going to put this piece on first, and then I will fit the pool start section on. Alright guys, got my beautiful, look at the shine on that. Look at the shine on that. Look at that. Again, mother's billet. Thank you so much, Jeff, my brother from another mother, over at Eastside RC, for letting us know about this stuff. This is great. Thank you, brother. Okay, people, I'm going to put my flange cover back on. Now, the old flange cover had these washers on the back. I don't know if these are needed or not. We're going to try to put them on, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep them on, so we're going to see what we can do right here. Looks like I got it. Now I also put a drop of Loctite down in each one of these bolt holes. So alrighty. There's our, we can go ahead and pull our rope out. We don't need that no more. Make sure everything all right in there. Everything is good. When I pulled the spark plug out, I did throw a little bit of 3-in-1 down there. I'm just going to put a little more in there. This engine's been sitting for over a year. I'm sure Sean has plenty of lube down in there, but I'm just going to put some more in. Can't hurt. Put my plug back in. Alright, nice and tight. Now we're going to put on our pull piece. It's just you have to fish around and get it on like so, like I did there. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and bolt that back down. Can put a little bit of Loctite on each one of these. Alrighty, there's my beautiful shined up Turtle Racing Pool Start. Alright, last thing we got to do is put my air filter on there and we'll be done with this engine. Okay, pretty much decided on the angled short stack uni air filter. DDM part number AF301. This is pre-oiled right from DDM. I'm just going to go ahead and fit her up there. Alright guys, got my filter on, got everything. Oh, had to change this pool start position. I went out and test fit this in the Baja, and this pool's got to be straight up. At this angle, you'd be banging into the rear shocks and the whatnot back there. So, yep, this was it. All shined up. Came out really good. Now this clutch. Yeah, it's really blingy, man, with that mother's billet. Boy, you put that stuff on there, it takes that oxidation off, which comes off as black, and it's really really blings her up, the billet stuff. So, all right, people, one last piece I want to add to this engine would be this. It's from GBE Racing. It's the rear engine mount. Goes, gets mounted to the case here and here. Gives extra support. At one time there was, these might be unavailable, I'm not sure. I don't know if I got this from DDM. Yes, here it is on the back. DDM part number TT845. I think you can still get these. If not, I think Rovin RC makes this as well. So I'm going to get this attached. Lock tight these bolts. Big one goes in the top. So put this on too. Nothing. Little one goes in the bottom. Well, these have lock washers on, but I like to Loctite them anyway. Alright, we got our GTB rear engine mount on there. I'm not sure, I've never put one of these on, I'm not sure exactly how this attaches to the back bracing on the Baja, but we'll see that when we put this together. That's pretty much going to wrap up the engine. So really happy with the way this turned out. Got my TGN short stack air filter on there. 990 carb, DDM velocity stack. Got our Killer B. Got our Turtle Racing billet pull start. Got our Turtle Racing billet clutch housing. We got in King Motors Lighten clutch 8K. Now as far as what I'm going to do with the mount for this, I'm not 100% sure yet, so I'm not going to put it on yet. I got this clutch cover from Rovin, but I also have another one from Rovin coming in. I'll show you that as soon as it comes in. It's their heavy duty clutch mount. I will take a look at that later when those parts come in, and I'll put that together on the Baja. So that's going to wrap up the engine. Thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, hit me up below. And I'll see you on part 3. Part 3, we're going to start putting everything together on the chassis.